I'm Vicki Engel, and I'm the board chairman of the Helena Health Foundation. This is a very, very special day for all of us, all of you. We're here because the Helena Health Foundation wanted you all to celebrate in a very special way and honor David Solomon. He deserves this singular honor for his distinctive services to the Helena Health Foundation, its predecessor, the Helena Hospital Association, and the community in general. For the past, can you imagine, for the past 76 years. Now, to move us forward, let me introduce David's number 2 son, Leif Raymond, who has a few words to say and will give the invocation for our program. Leif.
Before giving the invocation, I would like to thank Vic, Dr. Basu, and the entire board of the Helena Health Foundation on behalf of my brothers, David and Leif, our wives, Nancy, Carol, and Cam, our children, and now our grandchild, and my cousins Wilkins and Bob Thompson and Julie Mandel for bestowing this great honor on my father. It is a wonderful recognition of his many years of work on behalf of Helena West Helena and the hospital and then the foundation. So let us pray. We are gathered here this afternoon as one community in all the richness of its diversity, and may we continue to work to preserve and enhance that diversity. May the work of the board and leadership of the Helena Health Foundation continue to grow in importance, and may they have even greater successes in fulfilling their mission to support and improve the public well-being and quality of life in Phillips County. And may the David Solomon Auditorium be a place where all members of the community come together for educational and other programming that will support that vital mission. And let us conclude by offering the traditional Hebrew prayer of praise and thanks for joyous occasions. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Shehecheyanu v'kimimanu v'hiyanu lazman hazeh. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, supreme of all, for giving us life, for sustaining us, and for enabling us to reach this season. And let us say, Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Ray. You know, there's been some confusion and misunderstanding as to who and what is the Helena Health Foundation. So while I've got you here as kind of a captive audience, I want to take this opportunity to explain some of the things to you. About 13 years ago, the Helena Hospital Association, now the Helena Health Foundation, entered into a long-term lease with CHS, Community Health Systems, which is a major U.S. corporation that runs and manages hospitals throughout the country. With the proceeds of that lease, about $10 million, we formed the Helena Health Foundation. Our mission is to do whatever we can to improve the health of the people of our community, with particular emphasis on the indigent population. Now, rather than invest that $10 million ourselves, we placed it with the Arkansas Community Foundation Services. And I can tell you that from the income that received on those funds, we have been able to make grants to various health-related organizations about $6 million. That's about $500,000 a year since we began, okay? In your handout, which I guess you'll receive it later, we'll give you a list of some of the grants that we've made. I can also tell you that even though we've paid out those large grant amounts, we still maintain about the same amount of cash assets that we had when we began in 2002. Let me go another point. To further explain the Helena Health Foundation, the building that you are in is known by two names: the Helena Health Foundation and the UAMS East building. These are two separate organizations. They're not the same, two separate organizations. I'll tell you how that works. Some of you remember the old Delta AHEC, huh? The old Delta AHEC is now UAMS East. Changed the name. And now what's our connection? Our connection is this. About 12 or 13 years ago, Dr. Vasu will correct me if I'm wrong, too much wrong on this. About in 2002, the then Delta AHEC were expanding and needed larger facilities for their operation. We, the Helena Health Foundation, were able to work with them and design and build this magnificent building and lease it to them. Helena Health Foundation leases this building to UAMS East, okay? We did that in 2005. The building was completed in 2005, is that right? 2005. The building cost $4,200,000. It has 31,000 square feet of health facility space. We're on 13 acres of ground with a beautiful park and a walking path. You all have seen that. And we have, I saw Becky here before. I don't know where Becky is. Becky. We've had a wonderful relation with Becky Hall over all those years. As you know, Becky Hall is and has been UAMS East director for many years. I'm not going to say how many, Becky. As to the Helena Health Foundation itself, please let me introduce the other members of the board of directors, if you will. And if you will, would stand or raise your hand, please. Betty Hendricks is the vice chairman. Betty. Ed Pat Wright is the secretary treasurer. Larry Denson, Becky Gaddis, Joe Howe, those in the back of the room, Suzanne McCommon, Brian Miller, Kyle Miller, Robin Murray, I know is here, Ulysses Reed, and Angela Shari. But I have to mention one other person. I'll mention two other persons, but the most important one is, I want to introduce to you Donna Rice. Where's Donna? Donna Rice. She's our executive assistant, and she's done an absolutely wonderful job of preparing everything for you for this special occasion for David. Now to David himself. You know, we're thrilled to have so many family members here today. The sons, David, P., Raymond, and Leif, and their families. This is one of the proudest moments, I guess, of my life, to be a friend. To be a friend, as you are, each of you are, of an icon in our community, and the state, and the region. A friend of David Solomon. You all know Dr. P. Vasudevan, so very important to our foundation. Let's get him up here so he can tell you why we and the community have such tremendous admiration for David over the years. Dr. Vasu, tell us about the history of David Solomon.
Thank you, Vic. The history of David Solomon is a long one, and it'll take hours if I go through every achievement of his life. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today to celebrate a person who has served this community for more than 70 years. Born on the 19th of July, 1916, to a family long established in this community. graduated from Helena High in 1932 and went to Washington University in St. Louis, where he obtained his BA in 1936. I may add, when David and Miriam found out that my son went to Washington University, they were just thrilled. He went to Harvard Law School and obtained LLB in 1939, and he was in the U.S. Army from 1942 to 1945, rising to the rank of Master Sergeant. He started his law practice in Helena in 1939. That is 76 years ago, the year that I was born. And he retired recently, probably holding a record for the longest service at the Arkansas Bar. In July 2014, Arkansas Bar Foundation honored him for his 75 years of service at the bar. He was joined at the table by his 3 sons and their wives, as well as a dear friend and colleague of many years, Charles Roscoff, who probably will reach 75 years of service soon. His 3 sons and their wives were here: David and Nancy Solomon, Leif Solomon and Cam Crocker, Provost Raymond Solomon and Carol Evans. I just have to mention something about Raymond Solomon, a son of Helena, who is now heading Rutgers University. That's a great feat, David. David was admitted to practice at the U.S. Supreme Court. He was Special Associate Justice to the Arkansas Supreme Court in 1972 and again in 1989. His other notable services include delegate to Arkansas State Constitutional Convention in 69 and 70, Arkansas State Highway Commission 75 through 89. He was chairman in 84 and 85. He was president of the White River Drainage District and Mississippi Valley Flood Control Association. He has done pro bono services devoted to the economic development of Phillips County. He was also the attorney for S.D. Warfield, helped establish the Warfield Trust Fund for people to enjoy free music concerts, which has been going on for more than 40 years. He played a major role in industrial development in Phillips County. He was president of Phillips County Industrial Corporation when our chairman, Victor Engel, was president of Phillips County Industrial Foundation, and they established the industrial park. He has spent long hours giving free service to many organizations like the Chamber of Commerce, Port Authority, Helena West Helena Schools, City of Helena, and the Phillips County. He served on the board of Southern Banco Bank in Helena, and also Southern Banco, the holding company, and probably he served as a trustee for a long, long time. He has been associated with the Helena Hospital and Helena Hospital Association for more than 50 years. He was our point person in our association with Community Health Services in dealing with attorneys from Washington and Chicago. He has been with Helena Health Foundation since its inception in 2002. He has helped physicians in many ways and has often rejected payment for services. When he negotiated with Helena Regional on physician parking lot issues, he didn't take any money, so the physician honored him by giving a check to Phillips County Community Foundation in his honor. He was Citizen of the Year for Phillips County in 1983. In my opinion, he should be Citizen of the Century. I can go on and on about his accomplishments, but I'm going to stop and just say, thank you, David, for your selfless service to this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. We have a few presentations now, and Betty Hendricks has the first one.
I'm Betty Hendricks. I'm Vice Chair of Helena Health Foundation. I've had the pleasure of working with David ever since I came to Helena in 1956. And I have wonderful stories to tell about how much he has done to help so many organizations. but that's not what I'm here for. I'm supposed to read a letter. I have a letter from the state of Arkansas, Asa Hutchinson, Governor, October 21st, 2015. Dear David, I want to extend my personal recognition of your outstanding contribution to the state of Arkansas and to its citizens upon your retirement. Thank you for dedicating many hours, many years of expertise and service as an attorney in Helena, and for your long and celebrated career as a public servant. Your dedication to the development and well-being of the Arkansas Delta region for many decades is the very definition of exceptional public service. I wish you well as your time as Arkansas's most senior attorney comes to a close. Most senior attorney in Arkansas comes to a close, and I note your success with my personal congratulations. Again, thank you for your service to our state and for your lifelong calling to help the people of Arkansas. Together, we can make a difference for the next generation. Sincerely, Asa Hutchinson.
And now we have a Senate citation sent from Senator Keith Ingram, and Ed Petwright will tell you about that. Ed Petwright, as you know, is our Secretary Treasurer.
Turn the microphone. This is a Senate citation from Senator Keith Ingram, if y'all didn't hear that, but anyway, it says, whereas Mr. David Solomon has deep roots in Helena, Arkansas, where he was born in 1916, left to earn a BA from Washington University in St. Louis, an LLB from Harvard Law School, and where he returned in 1939 to practice law for 76 years and become a lifelong community leader and promoter of good things for Phillips County. And whereas, you gotta have a lot of whereases for lawyer talk, you know. Okay. In the Helena community, Mr. Solomon has held executive positions in a lengthy list of local businesses and organizations and served as city attorney and council member. At the state level, he was a special associate justice in the Arkansas Supreme Court on several occasions and served a 10-year appointment by the Governor David Pryor to the Arkansas Highway Commission. That's so cool. As a kid growing up across the street from Mr. Solomon, he always had, if you ever been to, he got the only highway in Stonebrook, it's Highway 0, isn't it? That's I never signed permission slips. I'm not allowed to go through there. But anyway, I had to do my parents. Whereas, in the Arkansas Bar Association, where he is highly regarded by his peers, he has held every office except president, which he declined, has served as state chair, as president of the State Bar Association Foundation, and has been honored numerous times for his services. And whereas, I had a henceforth in there, the members of the Arkansas Senate wish to join Senator Keith Ingram and all those who gather at the reception held at the Helena Health Foundation Wellness Center on October 21st, 2015 to honor Mr. David Solomon on his 76 years of dedicated service to Helena and Phillips County. Anyway, this is wonderful citation.
What do you think about that, David? There's more coming. Judge Don Gentry, where are you? Here he is. Judge has a presentation.
It's the preparation Whereas Mr. David Solomon, well-known, outstanding citizen of Phillips County, Helena West Helena, Arkansas, has served the county for 76 years. Whereas Phillips County has found it fitting to proper an honor to Mr. David Solomon probation on this many years of loyal and dedicated service to Phillips County. Therefore, be it resolved that I, Don Gentry, Phillips County Judge, State of Arkansas, hereby proclaim this day forward, the 21st day of October, will be recognized as Mr. David Solomon Day in Phillips County. And he's helped me out of a few scrapes too in the last 20 years.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Judge. And now we have Mayor Jay Hallwell as a presentation. Jay?
Well, I'm not sure how the rest of you feel, but I was getting a little worried when Vic said something about we're going to listen to the history of David Solomon. So, especially, and he has much appreciation for this, and I told son David just a few minutes ago. Wine class is starting at the college in about 10 minutes, and I don't miss it very often, but I know he and I have shared many stories about his love of French wine and things along those lines. And he corrects me a lot of times when we talk a little bit of wine. I've had the pleasure, in growing up as a young man, to have heard my mother and dad talk so much about him, and I know he and my mother had a really close relationship. I think she counseled him and he counseled her, sitting at her desk at Helena after buying At least he told me the story that she did. So, but it's my pleasure today to present to him, and I'm going to tell him just like I told Bobby Rush at the Blues Festival, I'm presenting you a key to the city, but you don't need to use it. It's my pleasure. It reads, the key to the city of Helena West Helena, presented to Mr. David Solomon. With great appreciation for his lifetime of contribution to our community, we recognize and honor Mr. Solomon for his service towards the betterment of our city. By the Honorable Jay Hallwell, Mayor of Helena West Helena, and I can tell you that he did wonderful jobs for us in the old city of Helena. Back when Joanne Smith was mayor, he came in and, as Don said, got us out of a lot of scrapes, and we really appreciate him and are so honored to be with you today. So thank you so much.
David, I know your longtime allegiance to the Kiwanis Club and your stories about comparing that to Rotary. But today we have a very special award from the Rotary Club, and Jack Myers, the president, is going to present that to you.
Good evening. I'm a bit embarrassed, quite embarrassed, because the first word on this presentation is David. And I don't feel like I'm really worthy of saying David. It should be Mr. Solomon. But in the Rotary tradition, we will go with first names. David, the Paul Harris Fellowship is named for Paul Harris. He was a Chicago lawyer who founded Rotary Club with 3 business associates in 1905. A Paul Harris Fellow is a person who has contributed, or in whose name a contribution of at least $1,000 has been made to the annual programs fund of the Rotary Foundation. Because of contributions like this, the Rotary Foundation is able to carry out a wide range of programs that achieve beneficial changes, not just here, but around the world. By improving living conditions of the needy, supporting broader education, immunizing against disease, supplying potable water, providing treatment and rehabilitation for the sick and disabled, developing new channels for the flow of international understanding, and encouraging brighter hopes for peace throughout the world. Your life is the embodiment of these ideals of humanitarianism, service, goodwill, and peace that Rotarians around the world embrace. You have been and are a gift to the world. It is with special pleasure, David, that on behalf of the trustees of the Rotary Foundation, we present to you these emblems of recognition that are given to each Paul Harris Fellow: the certificate, lapel pin, and medallion. The certificate reads, "In appreciation of tangible and significant assistance given for the furtherance of better understanding and friendly relations among peoples of the world." The lapel pin that I'm wearing is a small symbol of the Paul Harris Society and the Paul Harris Foundation. It's worn with pride by those of us in the Rotary Club who are Paul Harris Fellows. Lastly, the medallion, which I'm wearing, is an outward visible symbol of what goes on in your heart.
One more thing. A final tribute. On behalf of the Helena Health Foundation, David, I want to present to you this small memento, a crystal cube, on this wonderful occasion, the dedication of the David Solomon Auditorium. So that every once in a while, you can look back and remember all your friends who will always remember you. David, I'd like you to present this to your dad, if you take that out. It's heavy.
I deeply appreciate all the things that have been said about me and your being here. I'm reminded of a story about Lyndon Burns Johnson, who was invited to speak to a group before he became president, but he was a member of Congress and so on. At the meeting, the chairman gave an introduction of Lyndon that lasted about 30 minutes. When Lyndon got up, he thanked the chairman for his speech and all of the nice things that were said. But he said, if my mother were alive and here, she would relieve every word. thank the Lord, Lady Bird couldn't be here tonight. So she would know that none of it is true. Having said that, I wanted to personally acknowledge that I have received more from the work that I did for the Helena Hospital than they received from me. It's been a wonderful experience that we have gone from an old shack almost on Papa Street to the modern facility that is there. And even I call this an adjunct facility. I have received more from the association and the contacts that I've had than they have received from me. In other words, I deeply appreciate the opportunity to have worked in the furtherance of this association and its predecessor, the Helena Hospital. Thank you all for being here and for the nice things that have been said about me this evening, and I wish you all true.
I don't know whether the same thing that Daddy talked about Lady Bird Johnson applies to sons. But it's very gratifying to see our father's career and his life through the eyes of all of you very interested. That really is meaningful. It's very important. On behalf of all of us, I'd like to thank everybody who had something to do with this. Vic and Dr. Sue certainly worked very hard and did a wonderful job. Thank all of you for coming in and honoring me. And that's it. Thank you all very much.
David, this is your day. We're adjourned.